So Donald Trump once looked directly into a solar eclipse without glasses. That's right. A man with nuclear codes went toe to toe with the sun and lost. Yeah, we're talking about the one and only. So y'all get ready for the shenanigans, man. I just want to ask America, why? Just why? Was good to my late nighters. It was good to my early morning grinders. It don't matter if you're a 9 to 5 or if you're an entrepreneur. I welcome you to What's Good Fam, the Midnight Echo. Thank you to those that are continue to support me, stopping by, checking out the pages. Shout out to my new followers. Shout out to those that are listening to the episodes and as well as sharing them. Shout out to those that are also checking out the Midnight Cruise playlist. Now, I know I keep talking about it. I'm going to drop five soon, all right? But you have to understand something. It's a lot of new talent that I've been hearing as of lately. And I'm kind of feeling them. So I want to add them to the playlist. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to drop a Midnight Cruise Volume 5 and 6, as well as a new playlist as well, the Midnight of Echoes. And yeah, you already know what I'm talking about. It's going to be some slow jams, a little bit of the new, a little bit of the old, kind of cross them in there. All right. So y'all just bear with me while I'm trying to get all this, on and running. I'm doing this by myself. So, but once again, I want to thank everybody that's been listening to the episode. Shout out to those that are sharing. Big shout out to those. In fact, let me give y'all some claps real quick. Appreciate every single one of y'all, man. From the bottom of my heart, I do. Shout out to my little broski Drag known. He's always stopping by, showing love on the pages. Shout out to my girl B Dub. Love you, boo. She's always sharing my content as well. Those that are also checking by and liking it and sharing as well, thank you. New followers, welcome. So, before we get into this madness dealing with this president of ours, I know on the previous episode I talked about the T app digital drama. If you haven't heard yet, go check it out. Available on all platforms. But I know I talked about how possibly there could be an app developed for men to, talk about women and their red flags as well. So I didn't think it actually happened, but I was scrolling through social media today and I just happened to come across it. It's called the T on Her app. I see it's only designed for iPhone right now, but I'm pretty sure once it hits the markets for Android, I can only imagine the madness that can come from it. I find it funny though, in all honesty, because I feel like when it comes down to this whole gender war thing, like I said before, what is the end goal? Now, once again, devil's advocate, I see both sides of the coin, especially when it comes down to dating. But as I said before, people are still going to take a chance and date these people. It doesn't matter how toxic you try to call them out for being, evil they've probably done to you. It doesn't matter. Somebody's going to be willing to take a chance and date this person. All right. So I feel like when it comes down to these apps, I see the ups and I see the downs, but for those that are, predators, dangerous people, those who might be, spreading things that you can't get rid of, I understand that. So, but hey, I just want to know how y'all feel about it. I just seen it today. I've been seeing some of the comments. A lot of men are kind of laughing at it. A lot of men like, yo, that's corny. I just want to hear from my fellas, man. Y'all echoing and let's talk about it, all right? Because I find it funny myself, but other people, you might not find it funny because once again, just like the T app can cause a lot of madness and issues, I'm pretty sure this app can do the same as well. And there are people who like to take things too far. So, I just hope that this doesn't get out of control. But like I said, once you come across this, echo in and let's talk about it, all right? Because I will post this clip to the page. So I'm pretty sure I might be a little late, but hey, I want to just see some of y'all thoughts. People I talk to and follow, I just want to hear y'all thoughts. So let's echo in on this conversation, all right? But before we get any further, we got to talk about the new albums that just dropped. All right. So, of course, we got to talk about my man Currency. Dropped that long anticipated 7:30 on, of course, July the 30th, man. I was so excited when I heard this. And this is right here, the intro, Car Talking. I love this jam.
just motivating, really trying to show them how I did it. I ain't like them other niggas. I don't hide the keys. I make a way for
Gotta give the Currency, man. He always put you in that mode where I gotta hustle, but I'm still gonna enjoy life, man. Immaculate album. I loved it from top to bottom. Shout out to that man Currency. Added more to the collection of the 830, 930 series. I love it, man. Was not expecting this, but was so ready for it. So shout out to my man Spitter, man. I love it, man. Also, man, that man Freddie Gibbs dropped that Alfredo too. Was not expecting that neither, you know. I ain't gonna lie, man. This album, I wasn't expecting, I guess, the beats until I seen it was The Alchemist. But yo, you know, this is my favorite track right here, Feeling, featuring that man, Larry June. I love it, man. Got that smooth, but he killing it. Classic Freddie Gibbs. Yeah, man, this was a real smooth album, but my man Freddie Gibbs, every track he got on, he killed it. Now, I don't know, I've been hearing this little rumor that supposedly he was taking shots at Currency on this album. I don't know how true it is, but you know, I know Currency, he did do a interview where he talked about how him and Freddie Gibbs was trying to do an album together, and you know, what some of the things that was just going back and forth. You know, I ain't trying to start no drama, but you know, hey, shout out to both of them artists, man. Y'all just dropped some fire bangers. So, you know, let's just keep this thing going, man. It's lifestyle music, you know. It's a movement, man. I don't want to see no drama, no beef, man. Let's just get this money together. It's enough for everybody. So let's just keep it going, all right? And it's only funny because, unfortunately, and shout out to Hip Hop DX, you know, follow them on Instagram. They always have the latest hip hop news. And also shout out to this podcast, the Butcher Block Pod. Now, Freddie Gibbs on here, and this was posted about a day ago. So Monday, Tuesday. And he says on this podcast, I don't fuck with that nigga at all. If I see that nigga, I won't even speak to him. This is Freddie Gibbs speaking on Currency. And I have a partial interview they did. You know, I ain't gonna post it all, but you know, check it out. So let me tell you, see how you feel.
We can't see another project on the horizon. I mean, I know you and Spitter. I know you and Spitter did Fetty. Yeah, with a rapper. Like, you want to do another joint project?
Fuck no.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, man. I definitely never do that shit with Spitter again. You know what I'm saying? Like, all love and respect. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you know, I don't fuck with, fuck that. I don't fuck with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't fuck with that nigga at all. If I see that nigga, I won't even speak to him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, you know, man, look, man, we can't tolerate no disrespect in this game, dog. Yeah. The motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we did Fatty and shit.
I love that motherfucker. I love
great fucking.
Yeah, man, Fatty, man, that was the album right there, man. It's tragic to see this, you know. Like I said, make sure y'all go follow those boys. That's the Butcher Block Pod. You know, had to sit down to watch this. It was heartbreaking to hear, man. But you know, I know it's been a lot of things going on with Freddie Gibbs over the last couple of years. You know, burning a lot of bridges, also a lot of legal issues as well. You know, but you know, not everybody can work together, man. But as long as you just keep it, you know, respectful, you know, like I said, it's plenty of money out here for everyone, you know, no need to go, you know, take it there. But, you know, shout out to them too, man. Y'all just dropped some classics, man. You know, I hope to see more on the horizon, man. So we're going to go ahead and just get into this topic, man. I just don't understand it. You know, we have already been through so much, you know. Now we got to deal with this man, Donald J. Trump. I just don't get it. Like, I just don't understand it. You know, I just got to ask, man, like, why, America? Why? Why in the world did y'all decide? And I say y'all because I didn't vote for him. But, you know, hey, I ain't sending no type of, you know, this or no type of pettiness towards some of those people that did vote for him. But you got to see the ramifications of what's going on right now, you know. So back to what I was saying, I just want to understand why, because it was already hard enough, you know, watching this campaign between him and Hillary back in 2016. And at first, I did not take this serious. So I'm like, come on, man, y'all really finna let this madman who has had several failed businesses, has done some of the most outrageous things ever seen. You know, 6 bankruptcies, man. He has stolen from people. He has even called Republicans retarded to their face. He has done so much. And yet, just to wake up the next day, once the polls were closed and see that he actually won, I had no idea this was even possible. And don't get me wrong, I know, a lot of people was going back and forth about what Hillary has done or might have done, and her being the first female president. But I kind of feel like I would have rather have dealt with her and then dealt with this man Trump, because once he stepped onto the scene and this whole MAGA craze just went so far to the left to where real racism was just being shown in our faces every day. Just it don't even get me started on the wall thing. Like, this man was actually finna build a wall to stop immigrants from coming in to America. And some people try to praise him like, hey man, give us that stimulus check, man. He gave that little $3,100. What was that really going to do for people who hadn't worked in almost 2 months? Like, come on now. It was just, and that with COVID, like, COVID was just one gigantic ass shit show, man. And it was, especially when it came down to the essential workers, because I personally can say I was an essential worker, and from one essential worker to the next, even though we were still working and making money, we got fucked. We really got fucked. And I don't care what nobody says. We really got fucked with that shit. Shout out to my essential workers. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We had to sit there and endure them long, grueling hours. But at the same time, I'm not complaining, because I was still working and I was still bringing home a paycheck, and I don't want to rub that in nobody's face who had to go through all that. So, shout out to those that still made it. And we're not just going to sit here and act like we forgot about January the 6th. Y'all remember that, man. Y'all, we all watched it on television. We all just sat there and all that. Allegedly, this man told his loyal supporters to riot for him because the presidency against him and Joe Biden was stolen from him, and he wants people to fight for him. He actually told the security guards at the White House to stand down and to let his most loyal just followers, of course MAGA, run inside of the White House, destroy the property, hurt several security guards as well, just to run into certain people's offices to take a deuce on the desk, or to try to steal documents, or hell, even try to kill some of the politicians that work inside of this. And this shit, it was like, he actually told the security, yo, y'all stand down, let my loyal followers just run through here and just run muck and cause ruckus and madness just because I'm mad that I didn't win the goddamn presidency, because I knew I was going to jail. Allegedly. I'm just going to keep saying allegedly, and you just had no choice but to sit back and laugh, because all the black people were saying, I guarantee if it was a bunch of black people who had tried that shit, they'd have been shot on sight. But just to watch these grown ass men do all this for a man that doesn't give not two fucks about them, it was comical at best. And I just knew in the back of my mind that man was going to jail for all the allegations and lawsuits that he was facing. I was like, yeah, man, he's going to jail. There's no way in the world they're going to sit there and just let him get away with this. And yet somehow this man got away scot fucking free. It's funny, and I know previous, like, to those who already know who I am and know that I've done a previous podcast with my homeboy Low Boogie. Shout out to Low Boogie, by the way. But we had did a podcast, rude content, and we actually did an episode talking about this man. And I want to say that's probably our most listened to episode ever, man. Shout out to those that actually listened to the episode, man. One time for y'all. Yeah. But just to, see all this madness going on, right? And when I go back to how I said, when it came down to what happened on January 6th, right? Like, if it was us that had tried to do some shit like that, of course, they would have blasted us on sight, right? And the former coolest president himself, Mr. Barack Obama, come on with it. This man did an interview. He did an interview, I want to say 4 months ago. I don't have the exact date, but we all know the infamous clip that surfaced online when my man, Mr. Barack Obama, was giving a speech at Hamilton College, and he went in on, of course, Trump. And this is what he had to say, because I had to agree with this.
The right to free speech. I am more troubled. The idea that a White House can say to law firms, if you represent parties that we don't like, we're going to pull all our business or bar you from representing people effectively. That kind of behavior is contrary to the basic compact we have as Americans. Imagine if I had done any of this. Let me just, I just want to be clear about this. Imagine that. Imagine if I had pulled Fox News' credentials from the White House press corps. You're laughing, but no, this is what's happening.
And let's just keep it real. For years, they've tried to go at Obama on so many levels, calling him the Antichrist. Of course, the most racist post that I've ever seen in my life. Like, there was a lot of hate for this man, even coming from Donald Trump himself, asking for his birth certificate. Everybody saying he's not a real American. He's from here. He's from there. He's Muslim. He's going to try to, it was just crazy. But at the same time, this man actually came in. Not only did he get America right after the most brutal fuck up because of this war that we was going through, he also had everybody paid, had Medicare for everybody. My man's really came in and did the damn thing. And it only took one person, Mr. Trump himself, to come in and take all that shit away. All of it. He just broke it all down and said, you know what? Forget this. This is what we gonna do. He didn't do it once. He did it twice. And even had Elon Musk himself helping him out, allegedly. Like, that was just wild to see. This man not only had Elon Musk, but he had all these billionaires behind him, like they're part of Congress or something, or like they're going to be the ones to change the world. Man put the right people in position. He was able to win the presidency again against Kamala Harris. And, before we go any further, hey, I kind of wish myself Kamala Harris might have won that presidency. But, just being honest, I feel like maybe that was not a strong presidency for her. Just my opinion. If you want to hear more about it, hey, make sure to echo in with me. All right, like I said, echo in. Let's have a conversation. All right, but I'm pretty sure we would not be going through this like we are going with Trump, because my man actually came in office and just smacked everybody in the face, man. I'm like, this big beautiful bill of his has done nothing but just kill the economy. We got all these wild tariffs going on. Household items are just getting more and more expensive by the day. I'm going to the store paying $400 for maybe 5 sacks of food. It's just getting wild out here, man. And it's like so many people were just so gun-ho to vote for him. And I'm like, okay, so, y'all voted for him. Like, now look where we at. I say y'all because I didn't vote for him. And for those that did, I ain't sending no shots. I ain't trying to be petty, no type of violence towards you or anything. But you have to see the ramifications here, because this is a giant fucking mess. And some of it's not even funny, just to see these ICE raids and seeing so many innocent people who just wanted to come over here and live a good, decent life and take care of their families. Just to see so many of these ICE raids going on and seeing so many of these people being taken from their homes in handcuffs. Just to also see them being stripped of their families and being treated like less than human beings. And what's even more wild is just to see some of these people that are not ICE agents actually going into these people's homes and arresting them and putting them in the back of trucks and taking them to who knows where. It's utter madness going on right now. Even his personal attacks against the black community. Bro got in the office one day and decides he wants to issue this order called Restoring Truth and Sanity to American History, basically trying to erase the racism that Black Americans suffered all throughout history. You can't erase that. You cannot whitewash that. You've tried before. The truth always comes back out. And the one thing he did attack was the National Museum of African American History and Culture. Of all things, of course, the Black Smithsonian, shout out to y'all. But for him to go after that, and it's already being noted that they're trying to take slavery or the word slave out of history books and call them servants or indentured servants, where we all know what the truth is. And of course, we all know, a lot of us from the 80s and 90s, we all know that the history we taught was not the real history. And it goes so much deeper than that, and it gets so much darker. But for him to attack this and try to say it's this divisive and race-centered and all this other crazy stuff, and his idea is to basically just whitewash it or get rid of it. Like, come on, man. So much of our history just being lost or stolen or destroyed. And just have him turn around and try to call this wonderful museum divisive and race-centered. Yet all of our history, so much of it, a lot of stuff that I never even knew. Because one thing I hated about Black History Month, even though Black history is everyday history, but the one thing I always hated about it when I was growing up was I never really heard about anything else or anybody else. Like, we always had to hear the stories about Napoleon or Columbus, or the people going to look for the Fountain of Youth and all this other crazy stuff. But then get to Black history, we was in Africa, and all we did was get tricked to get on a boat, and now we're slaves. And I was like, did we do anything else besides invent a cotton gin or 101 ways to use a peanut, or just other things besides always having to listen to stories about Martin Luther King Jr. and the famous "I Had a Dream" speech, hearing about Malcolm X, even though I didn't hear the full story about Malcolm X and a lot of things that he was doing. But just hearing them same basic stories, like, I know as Black people we've done more, and this museum is living proof of it. So much of our history that I never knew about, didn't even have an ounce of a clue about. And just to see this man attack this museum, basically attack history, because you can't erase what was done to us or what was done to our ancestors. We all know the truth now. There's no denying it. And then it's crazy, I'm scrolling down X, formerly known as Twitter, and shout out to No Lie with Brian Tyler Cohen. Post came up: the White House will now be vetting Smithsonian museums to ensure their exhibits comply with Trump's vision interpretation of history. Like, what is there to interpret? What is there man, come on, man. History has happened. You can't change it. You can't try to mold it. You can't try to make it feel more suitable for how you feel about it or how you think it should go. History is in the past, and it's happened. Racism has happened. Death has happened. Wars have happened. You can't just scrub it all away because you don't want to see it. Like, even with some of the exhibits he want taken down. And I'm just looking like, y'all really are going to allow this? Now, I'm glad some of these museums are fighting back, saying, yeah, this isn't something we could just do. And for him to turn around and start crying and saying, well, you know what, we're just gonna cut funding. Like, this man is really trying to erase history and restore it to how he feels about it. And I just ask, like, even though there's a whole lot of outrage within the Black community, where is the outrage with all the other crazy madness that he's doing? He's even actively trying to suspend the habeas corpus. Like, he's really trying to expedite these immigrants, undocumented immigrants, out of here. And I feel so sorry for them, man. I really do, man. My heart go out to y'all. I really do, man. But for him to try to hurry up and suspend that so they can just really get them out of here, it's like, bro, he has a real deep hatred towards the immigrants, man. And it really breaks my heart because I know a good bit of them are employed by him. And that doesn't even make sense. Like, you're really attacking the very people that are helping your business. Whatever deep hatred or issue you have with them, you just want them gone from the country, even though they contribute to the country. Like, make it make sense, man. Like, he is so gun-ho about the immigration and rewriting history, but he refuses to release those Epstein files. And thanks to social media, a lot of videos have come forward of seeing these two hanging out, several interviews he's done actually saying, yeah, man, this is my friend. I hang out with him, and, saying things maybe he shouldn't probably be saying. But for whatever reason, we all know he's all over that list. How many times? We don't know. And of course, there are other people on that list, celebrities, politicians, the list goes on. So my question is to him, since he's so about justice and doing what's right for America, why not go ahead and just release those files? I mean, everything he says, we all know is a lie, man. Just, I can't believe Americans voted for this, man. We voted for a whole crook. And I just gotta ask, like, to those that actually voted for him, like, yo, was it worth it? Like, is this what y'all wanted to see? Like, this pure madness that is happening before us right now? Even those that decided to even work with him, like, was it really worth it? Because hell, now even Elon Musk is mad at this dude. Various other people that he's promised probably things to are mad at him because he didn't deliver on what he said he would. And I'm just like, yo, you was warned, because for every person that this man has worked with, he's screwed over. He ain't worried about them. He worried about himself. He gonna do whatever it takes to make sure he stay on top. So, just to see all these people like who were once behind him, like, yeah, man, Trump this and Trump that. Now they're like, man, F that, man. It's like, yo, you should have known this. But hey, like I said, this is what y'all wanted to see, man. So to those who is actually so gun-ho for it, because I'm not seeing a lot of those MAGA hats no more, nor am I even seeing that word as much as I used to see it when he first was running. So my question is, what's changed? Because now they really see that this man don't care about nobody but himself and money. But man, hey, I just wanted to give a quick rant. Hey, if once you come across this, make sure you echo in with me, man. Let's really have a conversation about this, because I just want to know, per se, if those Epstein files were released and, everybody got to see his name all up and down that list, is the perception of him really going to change? And even then, is it possible that he might even go to jail? Of course, we know he can't go to jail right now because he is president unless he gets impeached. But even with all the madness that he's created right now, and we see both sides are really going at him for what he's doing and how he's trying to really shape America, is the release of these files going to be the one thing that's going to get this man out of office? And even then, can they even convict him of anything? So who's not to say that he might be able just to skate off of this? Who knows? But if these files being released are the reason this man is able to get out of office and go to jail, then so be it. Because so far, this whole presidency has just been one big laughingstock, man. We actually need people who know what they're doing and can actually fight for us and give us what we need to actually live a better life. Because this $1,600 to $2,200 rent, man, this is getting wild. But yo, that was just my quick rant, man. And I just want to see how y'all feel about it, man. So echo in with me, man. Let's have a conversation about this. I invite more people to the pages. Come check this out. I do post these type of clips. For those that do comment under the clips, I do engage with them. We do have conversations. So don't be shy. Make sure you stop by the pages, all right? So we're going to go ahead and get ready to shut things down. But before I do, I am going to drop these socials, all right? So make sure when I drop these socials, come by, check out the page, all right? Like I said, I do post clips. I post my Midnight Cruise song of the night or the Midnight Cruise album of the night. So make sure y'all follow in with me, all right? Give me some more recommendations, because like I said, I've been hearing a lot of new artists and I'm feeling them. So I will be adding these to the Midnight Cruises. So before I get to those Midnight Cruises, let me go ahead and drop these socials, all right? So make sure y'all follow me on Instagram as What's Good Fam Podcast. That's What's Good Fam _podcast. You can also find me on Threads. Like, I'm getting used to Threads right now, so y'all just bear with me. But What's Good Fam _podcast as well. So that's on Threads. You can also find me on X, formerly known as Twitter, as What's Good Fam Entertainment. That's What's Good Fam Entertainment. You can also find me on TikTok as Dex _double at What's Good Fam 21. Once again, that's Dex _double at What's Good Fam 21, and that's on TikTok. You can also find me on YouTube as well. So for anyone who might have trouble looking for the podcast, just make sure you look up the podcast, What's Good Fam podcast page on YouTube. So that way you can listen to the episodes. All right. Now, for those who might end up looking for that rude content episode we did about Trump, the name of that episode is The Re-Up. So make sure you look that up. All right. Rude content, RUDE content. Make sure y'all look that episode up. It's called The Rip. I will post a clip of that on the page. So make sure y'all stop by and check it out, right? And tell me how you feel about it. So listen, the next time someone says, what's Trump been up to lately? Tell them he's rewriting tax laws, threatening civil liberties, and starring in an endless Epstein saga. Just another day in the one big beautiful bill era. And that's a wrap on tonight's Midnight Echo. Whether you agree or disagree, one thing's for sure, the conversation never sleeps. Keep your mind sharp, your vibes high, and your nights long. This is What's Good Fam, signing off till next time. Stay woke, stay cool, and keep cruising in the midnight. Y'all be safe out here.